What's going on, everybody? Tonight we are going to be painting this 3.5-inch topwater bait from Barlow's tackle. Now this bait is like similar to a whopper plopper where it's got these propellers on the back of it. Whenever I was getting ready to clean the bait and prep it, I saw that it had little screws in there. So I went ahead and took my blades off, and we are going to paint the back. The blades are plastic, they're not rubbery, so you could probably paint them as well, but I figured I'd leave those clear on this one and then paint the back half of the bait as we do the front. Now, I've had a couple people question how I clear coat or paint and keep these two joints from sticking together. So one thing you definitely cannot do is dip the baits, otherwise they will for sure get stuck together. If I was using like Alumilite or I was using a 2-part resin epoxy, I'd just brush it up really close to the edge very carefully and do it that way. And something else that can help with it, if you're not painting the back of the bait, you can pull the back all the way as far as it goes and then put a piece of tape right here, because this doesn't move, and that would help keep a little gap there. Or since this one I'm planning on painting the back of it and I don't want a tape line, I took a little piece of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in there, there's a little chunk of a paper clip I cut and wedged in there. So it's down in there far enough that it shouldn't affect anything or the paint, and if a little bit of clear coat got on the edge, it wouldn't stick to the back of the bait. So that's a couple things I do whenever it comes to clear coating these tails. You can either tape it if you're leaving the tail clear so it won't move, or wedge a paper clip or a toothpick or something like that down inside there. And then definitely don't dip, because that would cause major problems for you. So the pattern we were doing tonight on this bait was actually inspired off of a short I had filmed a couple of weeks ago. It gave me some cool ideas. I was just playing around. So tonight we're going to kind of replicate that, but use a different group of colors. First thing we're going to be starting off with is a base coat of opaque white. I'm going to give the whole bait a nice layer in that. With our base coat of white done, next we're going to be doing a bone yellow. If you guys have or know of a pre-mixed bone yellow color, let me know, because I want to paint more baits in bone yellow and I don't have enough mixed up to do it. It would just be nice to purchase some, that way it's consistent. But yellow, bone yellow, is white. I'm going to add 2 drops of yellow here. And then also going to add a little bit of sand to the mixture. Transparent sand. I'm going to go for 1 drop of that. I might add a little bit of green. We'll see where this gets us. Pretty happy with how that looks there. What do you folks think? Decent bone yellow for a quick mix. I'm gonna go ahead and add a drop of reducer, or 2 drops. All right, I will get this loaded up in the brush and then we will get our bait painted. With our custom mixed bone color loaded up in airbrush, I'm going to go ahead and cover the whole bait again. So everything that's currently in white, we will paint it in our bone. Kind of looks a tad more yellowy, but I don't know. I like it. Pretty solid. We're gonna roll with it. If you don't think it's bone yellow, it's just a yellow bait we're doing. All right. All right, with our yellow on and dry, I'm going to take a stencil to get some scale patterns. I believe this one was netting from Hobby Lobby. You should be able to find it in the fabrics section. What we're going to do is take some transparent black, and a couple things we're going to do here with it. Or should I say a couple things we're going to not do with it. So we're going to take the black and we're going to try to spray the whole side of the bait. I'm going to try to avoid the face, or where the eye socket is, in the gill plate. And then I also want to try to avoid getting paint along the back of the bait, because we're going to do some other stencil work there. The face of this bait, gill plate and everything is going to pretty well stay bone if I can. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of overspray. I'm not too worried about being that precise, but I'm not just going to go crazy with the paint and cover everything. I'm also going to try to avoid the tail. Most likely I'll get overspray, but try to avoid the tail, try to avoid the gill plate, and try to avoid the back of the bait. And we will be spraying some transparent black. And I think I'm going to make the whole belly of the bait black. I haven't decided yet, so we'll see on that. But here goes what I can do on the side of it with the transparent black. I think we did okay. I think I will end up going black on the belly. I don't know another or better way to transition that. See if we can do the same thing on this side. Oops, definitely just got the edge of that plate, gill plate. All right. Gonna hit this with a hair dryer, and then we can take the stencil off. Not bad, not bad. Actually, I think we're gonna go ahead and spray the belly black. All right, pretty happy with how that looks. All right, with the black stencil all sprayed and done, what I'm going to do now is take this piece of paper. I just cut a little bit of a curve to it, which I think I actually cut this the wrong way. No, that should be fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up, basically trying to make a nice straight line all the way across the top here. I'm going to hold it in place. Good enough. Think about like that should work. All right, and then we're going to take our same stencil and just the edge of it here, I'm going to give it a little bend. And we're going to add some lines, kind of like if it was the bottom of a crawl. There we go. I think that looks really cool. At the moment, I'm not in love with the side of it though. I don't know. The other one I did where the scales were black, or like what's currently our bone color was black on the other one. So maybe I should have done it the same way, because it faded a little bit better there at the top. I guess we could try to fill that in a little bit. Right now the side kind of looks a little goofy to me. I love the top though. I did, and I'm going to darken up around the eye socket very lightly. I think I'm going to connect the eye socket to the nose right there. And then we're going to go in for a little bit of shading around the gill plate. A little smoother on that side. I think I'm gonna try to fade that. I don't know how well that's gonna look. Didn't think this all the way through here. So right now that line looks really goofy to me coming over top of the scales. So I might try to fade it with the black. That looks a little better. I think that looks better. Well, make sure you guys can see it. All right, I think we're going to try to add, because right now our tail's very, very bright. All right, there we go. I think this pattern still needs a little bit of work. I'll show you guys in case you missed the short, the other one, which I think it actually looks a little bit cooler. Did the white and then did 2 different colors over top of the black. So I was thinking that the bone color, which kind of almost I feel this currently feels like a total disaster. I guess I will still post it though. That way you guys can kind of see the idea of the pattern. I think the one I did for the short actually looks a little bit cooler. This one, I feel like it has something going for it, but it's not quite there yet. But maybe you guys can take the idea here and throw together a solid pattern. And then I can come back and revisit it. Regardless, I think it'll still catch fish, so I'm gonna get some eyes glued in there. I've got these ones right here. Trying to Amazon find. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and still post this video, even though at the moment this doesn't quite look like what I envisioned. So, but I want you guys to see the general idea here. So if you do replicate this paint job, but you use different colors, or maybe do it in a different order. Maybe if we did black first, then did the scales on top of it, it might look a little bit better. Because like I thought this one looked cool. The color patterns or like color combos just seemed a little wonky. So that's why I was thinking if I just did bone, it might tie it together a little bit more. Both of these still kind of feel unfinished to me, but I'm gonna go ahead and post this video so you guys can see the pattern, and maybe you can let me know in the comments what you think it needs, or maybe a different order, whatever the deal is. I really like the way this pattern looks. It's just not quite there yet. So yeah, let me know. I'm gonna get some clear coat put on it, and then I will get the tails put back into it, and then we can come back and take a look at what it looks like all finished up.